So this is what they call the medical device catalog number. This is the number that'll be stamped on the side of the KN95 mask, and it'll also be on the packaging. If you buy a full package from a manufacturer, they come in 25, 50 packs. If you actually get the box itself, you'll also see that number stamped on the side of the box. Another close-up of it. So this is the medical device catalog number. Now this is the catalog number. This is actually a screenshot from the CM manufacturer's website where you'll actually see this information published on their website. So this is how the FDA is going to check if your package gets stopped in customs and they have to inspect it. They need to see this number that's actually published on the manufacturer's website, and the manufacturer also must be approved by the FDA. So let's get into the FDA approval now. What you're looking at here is the medical device registration number. It's actually published on the FDA's website. So when customs wants to verify your shipment, right, they need to verify that A, the mask is legit and it's made by an FDA approved vendor. Anybody that's selling a medical device that's actually certified by the FDA must have this registration number. So in this registration number will actually be published on the FDA's website for everybody to see. So if you look at my arrow right here on the top right that says the registration number, and then you can see it zoomed in there, that's the number that customs is going to verify, and this number should actually be published on the FDA's website. If it's not, they're definitely not a legit manufacturer. So what is a certificate of conformity? A certificate of conformity, or COC, is issued by an authorized party, sometimes a manufacturer, sometimes an independent laboratory. And this states that the product meets the required standards or specifications. So any legit manufacturer will have a ton of certifications on their products, right? And it's very easy for these to be faked, but a good FDA approved vendor will actually have all the proper documentation. And if I wanted to ask them for any one of these specific certifications to actually see it blown up legit, and then I want to go back and I want to check or verify that any one of those documents is actually legit, you should be able to do that by just doing a little bit of legwork. If you really are not certain about it, that's definitely like going above and beyond. If they have all the other documentation that I've showed you here in this video, you should be good. You shouldn't need to go and verify that any of those other certifications are actually legit. Just seeing them on their website should be good enough. So if you notice over here on the left, this is what's called the joint declaration. This is the newest thing that China's implemented after getting so much flack from the United States about what they can and can't ship out of China and the export laws. This is really what's been holding up all shipments coming to the USA. So I'm going to explain this to you guys now. So every day for the last pretty much 20 days, China has made a new law that's prevented face masks from being exported to the United States because of all the flack they've been getting. So each day they've changed this document, this joint declaration, and they've required an additional piece of information, whether it be a signature, a stamp, a name. So I'm going to go over each thing that's required and how you should be able to find all these, and any manufacturer or any supplier that you're dealing with now should easily be able to show you their joint declaration, which will show their name, the manufacturer, yada yada yada, and it'll show you all that information. So I'm going to show you each one of these arrows represents a different thing. I want to explain to you what each one of those is. If you look over here on the left at the yellow arrow, this is your model number. This is that device catalog number that I was telling you guys about. So if you see this one here, this is the G95200. This is actually a new brand, the GNSCP brand that we're about to stock. We tested them. They're an amazing brand. So this is why I want to show you. This is one of the first times we've actually had to use this joint declaration. So I want to go over each one of these things and show you what we've been dealing with and why. So over here at this red arrow blinking, this is the factory seal. Each factory in China has their own unique seal that's actually registered with their government agency. So when this document gets made, they actually have to print this out. Everybody has to sign it. All the information has to be there. And then they actually have to physically stamp this document. And this document gets folded up and it gets packed into your export paperwork. And this is what customs is going to open. And they're going to look for all of these key pieces of information. If anything on this document is not right, they'll reject that shipment. Next, you're going to have the importer's name and signature. So this is actually my name on this document that actually has my signature. I actually had to sign this physical document, fax it back over to them, and then after that they had to have the stamp applied and all the other additional information. The next thing you're going to find here is the actual procurer's name, or your actually supplier's name. So now your supplier actually has to be an approved vendor by the manufacturer, and it actually has to be on the joint declaration that both their company information and the person that's actually procuring that shipment, their name and all that information is also on this document.